stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right, what the heck is going on here? Something ain't right. Hold on. What? No, that isn't it. Ugh. No, that's all wrong. That's not the right one. It's not loading the right title. Fuck. Okay. Hold on, I gotta check something here. What does that do? Okay. Well, I've got the right fucking title. I don't know what, but it didn't go through. So I haven't even shared yet. Sorry. I'm only going to share it to Facebook a little bit. Something is being wonky. I don't know what it has been lately, but I've been hearing a lot of complaints from people about shit being just weird. Yeah. So I'm only going to share this to a couple of places. We're going to be reading out of Day at a Time, Hazelden Literature. I saw you, Amber. I'm glad you made it. Now that you're at one house, are you all done moving? You're probably ready to get to some. You're probably ready to get to some normalcy and some consistency. I'm sure. It's exciting moving, but it's a pain in the fucking. Ugh. I used to have to move a lot. So here's my new phone. Yay. I went and got the Google what it's called something. I don't know. It's this one. Pixel A8A. Pretty good, actually. I did a lot of research. Got some new headphones. I need them. I'm on the phone all day. All day. One thing that I would like to say, just real quick, if you reach out to me for help, follow through, please. Okay. Don't just reach out for help and then, especially if it's for somebody else. Don't just start, because as soon as you ask me for help, I start putting action into it. There's a plan. So, and that's on me. See, when we talk about this stuff out loud, we can get to the solution. So what's the solution there? Stop planning it till I know the willingness level. There's my solution. Okay, all done. It's really that easy. Welcome, Daily Trudge. And I'm getting confused because, like, people are saying, oh, I want to support things, but then nobody's showing up to this meeting and that. And Amber, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about you. Like the 3 p.m., it's just like, nobody normal is there anymore. I went because somebody reached out and said, hey, we need some help. So I went to help them, but I was setting up my phone the whole time and I kicked a couple people out. But if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. A lot of times I go to certain meetings so I can see my friends, right? But there have been some friends that I've noticed. I notice that the friends that really, really compliment me, and especially in front of other people, are the first to disappear. Yep. They're the first to disappear. So they can go fast back and forth like that. And an overabundance of compliments to me means there's something about me you don't like. Right? You ain't gonna fool me with that. Okay? People that do nothing but give compliments to me, those are the dangerous people. Those are yes people. Mm-mm. No. See, my friends correct me Yes, they do. They do. Yay. I bet they're excited too. Probably another young couple or somebody starting out. Maybe it's later in life and they're trying to start over. But yeah, you put yeah, but that's at the office. It's the office. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good for you. Congratulations. Um, you're most of the way through. Now you get to do the fun part. Virgos love to decorate. Look behind me. It's the only part of the room that's decorated. My house isn't decorated because I don't have what I want to decorate it with. All right. All right. Let's get started with you spot it, you got it. What does that mean? It means you're looking at somebody and you don't appreciate what they're doing. So there's a good chance I'm doing it too. Okay. But there is a reading for this. Let's get to it. And then I'm going to go play Spider Man 2. All right. Great Bronco game today. I was telling my wife, okay. I mean, and this goes towards honesty, man. So I say that, if we lose, it's fine. But if we get blown out, I'm kind of, I'll leave. But if we're blowing out the other team, I'm more than happy to watch still. See how that statement is not honest anymore. Man, every time I turn around, I'm lying. It's a joke. We can, even though it's true, it's still true. All right. September 22nd is my daughter's birthday today. Yeah. She shares a birthday with some very, very popular hobbits. Frodo and Bilbo Baggins both have a birthday on September 22nd. That's right. The people that saved Middle Earth was Virgo. Of course they were Virgo. Ah, it's true. Go read the book. Bilbo and Frodo. Okay. For a considerable period of time after I reached the program, I let things I couldn't do keep me from the things I could do. I want to repeat that. For a considerable period of time after I reached the program, I let things I couldn't do keep me from doing the things that I could do. What came to my mind was drumming. When I got sober, I was scared to get behind a drum set again. I was afraid it was going to trigger me. No. Now I'm used to playing the drums sober. Now I'm used to that. I haven't played my drums in a long time. I may not ever again. I just, yeah. If I was bothered by what a speakers or other people said, I retreated, sulking into my shell. I did stuff like that. You bet. Sometimes there's triggers, and that makes me think of my PTSD, which is something different. It's different than what we're talking about. All right. Now, I can't go running and hiding from my problems anymore. I'm a person that's, when I see a snake, I got to call it out. When I judge somebody else, do you want to know the next question I ask? I got to ask this question. Dion, why did you say that? I don't ignore it. No. Dion, I'm going to question myself. See? Now I question other people too. Why? Well, I ask myself the same darn things. Why, Dion? Why'd you say that? Okay, well, that person's doing better than me, and it kind of pisses me off. Fair. They're doing something that I'm doing that disturbs me because I've gained some weight and I would like to lose it too. That's it. You spot it, you got it. Still happens to me. When I find some other person disturbing my peace, It is my fucking problem. I'm allowing it. And I still do it. I still do it. Was at the 3 o'clock meeting, you're asked to read the tradition of the month. They read all the traditions. I'm like, okay, nobody's even going to stop her. And then I remembered I'm not chairing, and there's somebody that needs to be let in. See? It's quite often I got to get myself back in my own lane. And what's my lane? Well, my lane in that was just to keep the room safe. It was not to do anything else. Okay, because when I start going past what I'm supposed to be doing, then I start stepping on people's toes, and then they retaliate, seemingly without provocation. Why'd they do that? Because I stepped on their toes. Now, instead of being annoyed or defensive when someone strikes a raw nerve, I try to welcome it, listen to it. There's a reason why these intrusive thoughts that we get. Ask yourself. They don't go all the way away, but they do diminish. Okay, why do they not go all the way away? Because I'm never going to be perfect. So it's not going to. Those intrusive thoughts will never stop because I am never going to achieve perfection. Well, I'm going to. I'll be dead. That's the day I die. The day I reach perfection is the day I'm dead. Now I'm perfect. That's what I believe. Right? Now, instead of being annoyed, offensive, I try to welcome it because it allows me to work on my attitudes and perceptions of God, self, other people, and my life situation. Um, Now, if it's just somebody that's annoying me, I've asked myself, Dion, are you doing this? I've cleared it. Let's say I've cleared it. I've even cleared it with a good friend, a closed mouth friend, my sponsor. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to look for things in them that I like. Not love. Not love. No. My love is unconditional. So I have to use like to get to unconditional love. What do I like about them? You know what? I'm really good at taking other people's inventories. That includes the good things. Now I'm in the right attitude for a wrong thought. Now I can work with it because I've been honest with myself. I figured out what the cause and condition is. I did it fearlessly and thoroughly, and I did it without having to make an amend. Those are the keys to a good life. Yeah. Oh, happy first day of fall, by the way. It feels like it out there, man. It feels like fall's kind of nice. Kind of nice. Great day to clean the gutters. Yeah, I didn't do it. I got to do it this week though. No, I'm like I need work gloves first. I don't. I'm just putting it up. Okay. We may no longer have active addictions, but we all certainly have active thinking problems. Am I willing to grow and grow up? Now, I'm going to go back to this. We no longer have active addictions. Now, keep in mind that when Hazelton does their stuff, they kind of include everyone. As an alcoholic, yeah, I'm always an active alcoholic. I may not be drinking, but I'm still an alcoholic. Can an addict not be an addict anymore? Sure. I don't know. I'm not an addict. I don't know. But I would like to hope so. Now that doesn't mean that you can go safely use drugs. That's not what that means. You know? But I do know that as an alcoholic, but I do get what they're saying. We may no longer have active addictions. So I'm not drinking or gambling or overeating or these different things. And that's what they're trying to get to. but we all certainly have active thinking problems. And that's where, for us alcoholics, we were born with these things. These were already installed on your computer when you were born up here. Okay. We were, what I was not instilled with, what was not installed in me was how to be honest. No, I'm an alcoholic. I have to go out of my way to be honest. Okay? I have to go out of my way. What keeps me honest? Accountability. Accountability and the gifts that I get for being honest. They're gifts to being honest. It's serenity. Yeah, I figured out the best way to be honest. You don't lie. It's the best way to be honest. What? And I heard that all before, but the problem was I still didn't know how. And I needed the 12 steps because there were things blocking me from my honesty. Me. There were some character defects like denial, anger, sadness, loneliness. I couldn't find any of this stuff until the loneliness was gone. And that's where the people in AA come in. All right. Nothing better walking into an AA meeting and realizing that everybody in the room has the same problems as you, and have to you don't have to explain it anymore. It was the biggest relief for me. The biggest relief in the program is walking into a meeting or being here. I can come on here and just say, I'm feeling lonely, and my friends will understand. There's nothing worse than describing how lonely I feel to somebody who doesn't understand. It makes me feel more, it sets me apart even more. Oh, it's just one more person that doesn't understand me. Well, part of the problem was doctors and psychiatrists and therapists and wives and husbands are trying to figure this out. But since we can't be honest, we can't get to causes and conditions. And with the hooch in me, when I have alcohol in me, honesty's off the table. It disappeared before I drank. May God give me the courage to test my new wings, even a feather at a time. Now, this testing does not mean you go walking down the alcohol aisle. That's not what it means. Alcoholics. Okay. I brought that up because my brain said it too. I'll say it. What are you going to do? Think less of me? You already love me unconditionally. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I'm fucked up, man. So I have a process which guarantees, not guarantees every time, but guarantees mostly that I'm not going to hurt anybody in the process. That's the main thing when I'm going through things. Okay. Yesterday, I was helping run a meeting. I was in 3:00. I was helping run a meeting. I was teaching my sponsor how to use Zoom and my wife how to use Zoom, and I got a little short with my wife. I'm like, it's like, how do I do this? I'm like, well, you just turn on the camera. All right. And I was trying to show her and teach her, but it was how I said it. And I need to work on those things. There's always something to work on. May I not wait to be entirely whole before I re-enter the world of everyday opportunity. I'll tell you what went through my head. Amber talks about meeting her sponsor, and he asks, how soon do you want to get well? How soon do you want to get well? Amber, I haven't been able to talk to you about this yet, but I think you will find this just kick ass. But it looks like for the House, we're going to be implementing a program that takes people through the 12 steps in 2 to 3 days. And I know that you'll love that because, well, let's kind of cruise through it. But, the way that they did it in the beginning was a lot fucking quicker than the way I do it. I can tell you that. And I'm over here wondering, well, am I kind of doing it wrong? Should I, we got to be open minded and willing to change. Just because that worked that way that time doesn't mean, you know. Now, what's cool is they took this program, okay, and it's 12-step based and there's no money, okay, and they went and presented it to people in the Salvation Army, okay, ARC, which is the recovery center, Army Recovery Center, okay, ARC, and they took the program to 2 different ones. And since they have implemented the program, not one person has left the program. You had a 100% success rate, which isn't quite it, but it tells you something. Not only that, but they did it in the worst state for recovery, and it succeeded. So what does that tell us? What does that tell me? So I told because Monty's the one that called me about it. I said, well, Monty, number one, how do I go through it so I know what it's like? And then what do I need to do to steal it from you? That's what I said. What do I need to give you so I can steal it from you and see if we want to implement it? Let's give it a shot. Get them people, them sick people through the steps in a weekend. So once we get the house, 1 weekend a month, we will be having, it'll be for everyone. It won't just be for the people in the house. Everyone can show up if they want to. Yeah. See, everything is starting to click. Okay. I have like 10 different things. And once it happens, it's all going to go boom. It's going to be like The Sims. All of a sudden, it's just going to be there. I've been preparing for it. All right. All right. My phone has different stuff, so I don't know what that is. Let's find out. It's even a different button. It's my daughter. It's her birthday, and I know she's not doing well today. I know she's not. I can feel it. I can feel it. Ever since her and I sat down and had and ever since we sat down and I let her get everything off her chest, and she's a Virgo and she very much did, and she's my daughter and she very much did. And I'm glad that she did because our relationship is fucking wonderful. But since that happened, we've opened back up, and when she's hurting, I can feel it. The other day, I think it was like Wednesday, Thursday, I was having a hard day. That was part of it, man. It used to happen with my grandma a lot. It happens with my mom every now and again still. May no longer. Okay. I re-enter the world of everyday opportunity for recovery is an ongoing, and growth comes along through challenges. Yeah, it's always ongoing. Okay. The learning doesn't end. The growing doesn't end. The character building doesn't end. It's always improved upon. Just think, it's fucking great right now. Imagine what happens when it gets better. Some days you're probably like, it can't get any better than this. And God goes, oh, yeah, challenge accepted. Boom. And a wholesale miracle will come across. All because you decide that day to go over there and help that person instead of sulking your own shit. That's what happened. That's what happened. And I no longer make desperate stabs at perfection. That's a great way to put it. But keep my aims in sight and develop as I live a day at a time. Today I'll remember things I can't do should not get in the way of the things I can. So in other words, like the things I can't do, like drink. I should not let it interfere with the things that I can do, like help another person. You know, spend some time with the family, do a puzzle, do even sitting down and doing a puzzle is a lot more constructive to the people around you than drinking. You know, so all right, all right. No, it's been I don't want to say a weird couple of weeks, but it's been kind of a weird couple of weeks, man. Um, I swear it's the year of. I mean, look at everything that's going on. Everybody's getting busted, and it's no different in recovery. Um, you know, people are hearing and they're understanding, and you know they've it's made it real tough to support things in recovery because you don't know what's what, and if somebody's not honest with you, it's kind of like, well, what are we really doing here? You know, um, you know, like I'm glad that I'm sure there were a lot of people at yesterday's event, but how many people did we really help? See, when you have a group of people with the same intentions, you will get that result, no matter what that intention is. Um, and that kind of leads me to the grassroots meeting. It's kind of funny because we're voting certain ways that I don't want, but I don't get what I want all the time. And I'll tell you the whole reason I did it. See, I have about 10 to 20 people in my life that work a good fucking program. And I know if I get them all in one group, I know what'll happen. That's why I'm doing it. I'd give fuck less what we vote on. Well, I do and I don't. I'm being selfish because these are all the people that will come and listen, and I can be Dion. And Dion can be Dion without going to a meeting and people just will, yeah, Dion this and Dion that, and Dion. I get tired of hearing my name sometimes. Okay. But I will always speak up. I have to carry humility with me at all times. I do. And I will bow my head. You see me do it quite often. My head will go down. It's humility. I'm giving it to God right then and there. You see me bow my head. I do it often. I do it often. I'm Even while I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm talking to God because God's here right now in the conversation. You know, but that group of people, they all have the same intentions, and it's all one intention: to meet people where they're at, so we can be of maximum service. That's it. This is the number one intention amongst everybody. We may argue about some things or whatever, but I can tell you now, if that group gets together, we're meeting on Saturday for the first time, and I'm fucking excited. I know what's going to happen. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I got a pretty fucking good idea. I know that wonderful things are going to come out of it. I don't, I don't plan the plan. I don't plan the results, but you can't plan the plan. But plan on it not going to your plan. But it's got to start somewhere. Okay. It's an AA group and things have got to be voted on. And I'll admit to everybody that I'm being very selfish about it. I want it to be invite only. I don't want to spread the news. I think people should be brought in naturally. Hey, I have a new sponsee. Bring them in. Okay. This will be a group where people go and say, I'm looking for a sponsor, and there'll be fucking 20 of them there. I have accounted for so much in just this one group. Let me rephrase that. God has accounted for so much in this group because I didn't go out and intentionally look. These people were brought to me. Yeah. I do a lot of sneaky stuff. It's called doing esteemable things. I help people out often without anybody even knowing, or very few people knowing. But I tell you now, there's somebody out there right now that's got good recovery because I made a move with somebody else 2 years ago. It's a ripple effect, man. And it comes back to me daily now because I've been doing it for so long. Now, it's just who I am, right? What's helped a lot is getting off my meds. I've changed over the last 6 months. I know I have. I'm not the Dion that I was 6 months ago. I'm not on the meds. My things are firing. I can do things now. I have an artsy side to me that I just couldn't get to. And no, it's not drawing, right? But I have a knack for things. We're figuring out what kind of logo we're going to use, and I just didn't like it. I was trying to be nice, right? I don't know. I do know this, that we're gonna have a lot of fun. Even if we just meet once, I'm gonna tell you, people will get something out of it. There's a lot of times I see two people talking and I know they met because they were both in my group and shit. I do it all the time. I do it. What do you think the group is about? The group helps match people. It's all it does. I haven't even invited anybody in months. I haven't had a welcome post. No, because the people that are in there are the people that are supposed to be in there. And even then, 90% of them are probably drunk. They're alcoholic. At least half of them don't even look. But I keep them in there. Planted seed. Planted seeds, man. Yeah. All right. I have a feeling I could probably keep talking, but I know that people probably want to get on with their days, and yeah. Hey, Daryl, good to see you. Yeah, I was actually just wrapping up. I said it's funny because I said, I could probably keep talking, but so all right. What do we got? Well, the only thing I haven't done today is Courage to Change. So why don't we read it? See Courage to Change. Whoop. Right. All right. That's November, October, September 22nd. Oh, and Daryl, just so you know, we're wizards here, okay? And wizards arrive exactly when they're supposed to. Am I correct on that, Amber? Okay. All right. Yeah, I know. I know. Time to start over. Oh, this is on the fifth step. Fuck. All right. We're Lord of the Rings fans here, but yeah, we're all wizards. So you arrived exactly when you were supposed to. The fifth step, admitted God to ourselves and to another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs, is a very intimate experience in which we share our private thoughts and experiences with another person. Much has been said about the freedom this step offers to the person who's doing the talking, but it can be extremely rewarding to the listener as well. No shit. No shit, Al-Anon. Is that you helping somebody else is actually the I didn't really learn the program until I started sponsoring. That's when I started really. That's when everything that's when you're like, oh shit, fuck, oh, okay. And then you're over here going to yourself, it's like, well, fuck, I'm learning. Yeah, don't worry about it. You're a guide. On your left is the state capitol, and that's all you're doing. Okay, so just right. Uh, Wrong movie. But yes, a Hufflepuff will be great here, as long as they're not Slytherin. Okay, and even then, I think Slytherin's pretty cool. So yeah, fuck Harry Potter. We're very much Harry Potter fans here too. So, yeah. Star Wars. People are like, do you like Star Wars or Star Trek? I'm like, yes. Well, no, you got picked. No, I don't. I can love them both. Thank you. Right. So, yay for Hufflepuffs. Most of us feel deeply honored to be entrusted to share such a sensitive and personal experience. Now you know why I love the podcast so much. See, it's me. It's a fifth step. Podcast is a fifth step. What happened, what it was like, what happened, what it's like now. Yeah. You know? What I love about the podcast is they always start out nervous and I start asking questions, and half the time they forget their life. Yeah. Back in the day, you were a Slytherin, talking to snakes. I still talk to snakes. It is a wonderful opportunity to practice giving unconditional love and support by simply listening. Yeah. So you do your fifth step, you admit all the shit that you said that you would never tell anyone in this whole world, and the person still loves you. Yeah. But the person that is able to give the unconditional love is getting, I don't want to say that either one's getting more or less because it's going to be very situational. Okay. But everybody is going to win. It is a win-win situation for everyone. And, um, you know, I just got, one of my sponsees now qualifies to, I'm like, you can go sponsor now, just, that's between you and God. So you talk to God about it, make sure it's all right, and he'll put somebody in your life that you're supposed to sponsor. Okay. But then we had to talk about the being 100% successful. How a sponsor does not take credit because you get your own, it comes with a different set of rewards. It comes with a different set. But if you're the kind of sponsor where, like it was Ray Hayworth, where it's my way or the highway, he was just very rough, then it might get a little tense. Okay. Many of us hear stories that are similar to our own. Others can often identify with the feelings that are expressed. Perhaps we will be reminded of where we have been and how far we have come. These are great points. Yeah. So when I do my fifth step with somebody else, you know what my brain does? It goes back to when I did mine. Just like when you have your years, you'll think backwards, man, and see how far you've come and how your life is different. Because it is different. Right? But now you can actually take stock. Now you can actually take stock because you'll remember 9 months ago when you weren't doing so well and how you decided to make a change in your life. We also see that despite our outward differences, we have a great deal in common with others. It's true. And, I've always been the kind of person where people will approach me and they will tell me something about their life that I just shouldn't know. Right? It happens to me often. Because when people start talking to me, like I went and got my hair cut, remember, then I shaved it. See, the problem was I started talking to her. And when I started talking to her, distract her, and then I got her excited, and she fucked it all up. It's how I am. I'm a person you talk to. I was at the T-Mobile store. I was the only white person in the T-Mobile store, but I was there. I don't care. And so he asked me, hey, did they win? And start a whole conversation with me. I'm that kind of person. So when we do the podcast and I can get that person to a point where they're just having a conversation with me, they will fifth step. They will get over trauma. And you know what that does for other people that are listening? It gives them the courage to face it too. Go listen to Leanna's story. It's probably the most powerful one I have that I can remember. And I remember some instances of what she said, but, you know, um, now if you ask me what Daryl said on his, I wouldn't be able to tell you. That was 4 years ago. Yeah. You did your interview with me right before COVID. Yeah. Yeah. And thankfully, my daughter didn't. Yeah. Yeah. But my daughter does have my brutal honesty. You know, she's also the kind of person where if it means it'll help, she'll bring it up. You know. All right. We practice this step by listening or speaking. We open ourselves as channel for our higher power. More often than not, we hear something that sheds light on our own situation. The other great thing about um, the other great thing about the fifth step is the forgiveness, the forgiveness that comes from your higher power. That's where forgiveness happens. Okay. I usually ask my at um I usually ask my sponsee, um sorry, I just saw that and it distracted me and I don't remember what I was saying. Um More often than not we hear something that sheds light on our own situation. You know, there's a lot of times where in the podcast, because I'm kind of using it as an example right now and plugging it because I love it. Um, my brain went back to what I was trying to think of, right? I need to wrap up soon. So, sometimes somebody will say something differently and it hits me differently, and I'll get an epiphany or something during the podcast. Yeah, I always learn in the podcast. I have something to learn, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the speaker is. Well, actually, it very much matters. But once we get to that point, it no longer matters. I'm very good at picking speakers for the podcast. A lot of people want to do it, but when it comes time, it can be nerve wracking, man. It's not easy, you know, like this. It's not easy for to always come on here and do this. Some days I don't want to. In the beginning, when I first started these, see, I started these because of my PTSD. That's why I started them. About a year before Corona happened. I guess we call it COVID. I call it Corona, and people are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You weren't there. You weren't there for the Rona. You look old enough to be there for the Rona that happened 3 years ago." But that's actually why this started, because I was unable to get out of the house, and I needed fellowship, and that's why it was called the Daily Reflections. Okay. And what I did is I came on and I was a nervous fucking wreck. You go back and listen to some of my other stuff, my voice is shaking. I'm all over the place. I'm not comfortable. If somebody interrupts me, I get very mad. Now, I don't care. It's like, oh, is that a cat? I'll be back. Oh, I forgot a fan. All right. Today's reminder: when I respond to a request for help with working with Al Anon program, I help myself as well. All right. Good day, man. Yeah, exactly. You know, it isn't always that our experiences are different, as how we say them a lot of times. Where, you know, like God, there's a lot of different explanations of God in the big book. And they do that because they hope that you grasp one. Mine was, He is the Father and I am His child. That one I got. That's the one that stuck with me. Now there's 50 of them, and I'm guessing at a number. You know, there's a gazillion. I'll just go to an extreme, so I'm full of shit. There's gazillions of different references as to how different people look at God differently. Okay. And there's probably, for every alcoholic, there's probably a different view and a different perception, but it still works. I love you. I love you. Peace out.